The movie opens in a Los Angeles bank where two elderly friends, Frank Vega and Bernie Pope, apply for a loan. The loan officer informs them they've already maxed out their last loan and won't get another until it's repaid. Suddenly, three armed robbers burst in and order everyone to the ground. To distract them, Frank and Bernie start arguing. As two robbers approach, they spring into action, taking down the criminals and stopping the robbery. The CCTV footage leaks online, and their heroics quickly go viral, earning them the nickname Badasses and an invitation to a local TV interview. When the host asks if the bank finally gave them the loan, they just chuckle. Turns out, all they got was a certificate of appreciation. One day, while relaxing at home and watching news coverage of their exploits, Frank gets a message from his long-distance girlfriend, Rotibia, who recently landed a great job in Florida. Soon after, he receives a call from their friend Carmen Morgan, who excitedly announces she's getting married and invites him to her wedding that weekend. Frank admits they can't afford the trip, but Carmen reveals she's already bought their plane tickets to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Fast forward to the flight to Louisiana, Bernie feels sick to his stomach and rushes to the airplane bathroom, only to find it occupied. Thinking fast, he slips into the business class lavatory instead, where he notices a woman sitting alone. Forgetting all about his stomach, he sits beside her and tries to charm her with small talk. The conversation flows smoothly until a flight attendant interrupts, telling Bernie to return to his economy seat because the plane is about to land. Annoyed at having his romantic moment cut short, he reluctantly heads back. They land in Louisiana and spot a Rolls-Royce driver holding a sign that reads Vega and Pope. Introducing themselves, they learn Carmen sent him to pick them up. On the long drive to Carmen's place, they stop at a gas station so Bernie can use the restroom. While he's inside, Frank sees a man snatch a woman's bag from her car as she feels up. Frank charges over and confronts the thief and his waiting accomplices. Bernie, spotting the commotion, bursts out, grabs one of the crooks and knocks him out cold. Together, they use a mix of quick thinking and fists to take down the gang. Frank returns the bag and they continue on their way. Arriving at Carmen's house, they're stunned. It's massive. Carmen greets them warmly and introduces her parents, Earl and Lois, as well as her adopted brother, Ronald, who's sporting bruises from being bullied at school. Earl brushes it off, saying boys will be boys and Ronald will be fine. Earl gives them a tour of the house, explaining it has been in the family for generations. After the Civil War, it was granted to his great-great-grandfather as part of the agrarian reform for black farmers. The land turned out to sit on mineral reserves, including oil, making the family millionaires overnight. Like Frank, Earl also served in the military. That evening, the Morgans throw a lavish party filled with guests, laughter, and music. Carmen introduces Frank and Bernie to her fiancé, Geoffrey, a former soldier in a wheelchair who took an IED blast for a fellow comrade in Afghanistan. Despite his injury, Carmen is clearly happy, and the two friends warmly congratulate them. Earl gives a heartfelt toast to the couple, followed by Frank and Bernie, who wish them a lifetime of happiness. The night turns festive, with everyone drinking and celebrating late. In the dead of night, as everyone sleeps, the power suddenly goes out, plunging the house into darkness. Masked men slip into Carmen's room and attempt to abduct her. Frank, still alert despite the alcohol, realizes what's happening and charges in, knocking down several attackers while shouting for Bernie, who's too drunk to help. Outnumbered, Frank is eventually knocked unconscious and the kidnappers escape with Carmen. By morning, police swarm the property. Frank tells Officer P it was too dark to see clearly but estimates 8 to 10 attackers. Police Chief Julius Broussard orders P to check the surveillance footage. Earl urges Broussard to spare no expense in rescuing his daughter. Moments later, Earl receives a call from the kidnappers, $5 million in ransom within 32 hours, after which they'll reveal the meeting location. Desperate, Carmen's mother Lois turns to Frank and Bernie for help, knowing about their past heroics in LA. They refuse, insisting the police are already handling it. Soon after, Ronald approaches with a clue, a club membership card he found near the gate. It's registered to a man named Buford Granger. Frank and Bernie hand the card to Chief Broussard, who promises to look into it. Aware of their vigilante history, Broussard warns them to stay out of the investigation or face jail time. The warning only makes them more determined to get involved. They head to the club to track down Buford. Asking around quickly draws attention, and a group of men attack them. Frank and Bernie fight them off with ease, and Bernie confiscates their gun. When one man tries to flee, Bernie shoots him in the leg, turning out to be Buford himself. Under pressure, Buford admits he has no access to the inner circle, but mentions a man named Landry who does. Meanwhile, at a convenience store, Ronald runs into his bullies, Kyle and his buddy, who demand money. Reluctantly, Ronald hands over his cash until Frank and Bernie step in. Before the situation escalates, Kyle's friend recognizes them as the viral badasses and, starstruck, suddenly becomes friendly with Ronald. Officer Pete arrives, orders Kyle home, and reveals he's Kyle's father. That night at Earl's house, he thanks Frank and Bernie for defending Ronald, but insists they stay out of his son's personal matters. He's trying to teach Ronald to resolve conflicts through diplomacy, not violence, something Earl values after his own wartime experiences. In the middle of their talk, Geoffrey appears, frustrated and sleepless, asking about Carmen. Earl reassures him the police are working hard to find her. That night, as Frank gets ready for bed, Ronald approaches to thank him for what he did at the store. He gives Frank a pure titanium locket that belonged to his late father, claiming it once saved his father's life during the war. The locket even bears the mark of the bullet that struck it. The next day, inside a warehouse compound, captive Carmen notices part of her room's wall peeling away. Breaking through, she finds an air vent and crawls inside, hoping to escape. The vent leads only to an office with a fax machine and a computer. She tries to go online, but finds it password protected. Thinking fast, she writes her location on a piece of paper and faxes it to the police station. Realizing someone is coming, she quickly snatches the note back and hurries to her room. Meanwhile, Frank and Bernie track down Landry in a restaurant kitchen. Landry arms himself with a knife and slashes Bernie's face, but Frank overpowers him and plunges his face into hot oil. Under the pain, Landry reveals Carmen's location. Back at the police station, Chief Broussard discovers the fax Carmen sent. Instead of rescuing her, he rushes to intercept Frank and Bernie, arresting them en route to the location. He has them taken to a field where a plane waits and orders his men to fly them out and drop them to their deaths. Meanwhile, Earl receives a call from the kidnappers, giving them the meeting point and ordering Lois to bring the money alone. If they spot anyone else, Carmen dies. Earl heads to the police station to speak with Broussard, but he's still out. A cop tells him to wait in Broussard's office, where Earl discovers Carmen's fax crumpled in the trash. Meanwhile, Frank and Bernie are on the plane bound for their deaths. Bernie fakes illness, and when the guards move in, the two overpower them and seize control of the aircraft. Frank has no flying experience, but he somehow manages an emergency landing and they survive. Arguing about how to get back, they come across a motorcycle with a sidecar and race towards Carmen's location. While scouting the warehouse compound, a guard catches them at gunpoint. He recognizes them as the viral badasses, but still intends to kill them, until Earl knocks him out from behind. Together, they three storm the old factory where Carmen is held. Earl, without hesitation, guns down the guards to reach his daughter. After freeing Carmen, they take down Broussard's men guarding the compound. Just when they think it's over, Geoffrey appears holding a gun to Carmen's head. The truth comes out. He's been faking his paralysis all along and is the mastermind behind the kidnapping, working with his cousin Broussard. His act was a ploy to get close to Carmen and execute their plan. Geoffrey has his men tie up Frank, Bernie, and Earl, then sets the warehouse on fire before escaping with Carmen. It seems hopeless until Ronald, who secretly followed Earl, crashes through the wall with a car and rescues them. At the meeting point, Lewis is stunned to learn Geoffrey's paralysis was a lie and that he orchestrated Carmen's abduction. As Geoffrey prepares to shoot her, Frank and the others arrive, ramming the car into Geoffrey. They battle Geoffrey's men, but before they can catch their breath, Broussard and his corrupt officers arrive, holding them at gunpoint. Just as Broussard is about to execute Frank, Officer Pete, Kyle, and Kyle's friends show up armed. Broussard refuses to surrender, grabs Lois, and prepares to shoot her, until Frank steps in and delivers a brutal beating. Broussard manages to fire, but the bullet hits Frank's titanium locket, saving his life. A few days later, Frank and Bernie prepare to leave Louisiana and return to Los Angeles. Before they go, Earl invites him into his office to personally thank them for saving his daughter. Then he makes an unexpected proposal. He wants to join their badasses team to help clean up the country. Earl offers to fund their entire operation and put both Frank and Bernie on salary so they never have to worry about bills again, especially medical expenses. Without hesitation, they welcome him into the team. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.